Tonight on CTV News at 6, touchdown, an especially active tornado season in Alberta. The damage from one of the latest in northern Alberta.
Destroyed some machine sheds, definitely some grain bin storage areas as well. And in town, there's a few houses that lost roofs.
The city selling a piece of Edmonton's history.
If somebody could take it, disassemble part of it, and then integrate that into a new build, that'd be great for the neighborhood.
And for the first time in years, it's nearly festival season at Koermann Park.
Couldn't be happier and more excited to have our festivals return to their homes.
Not much change to the overall weather pattern. Occasionally you'll see some sunny breaks. Occasionally you'll see some hit and miss showers and thunderstorms, and that pattern will continue for the next 2 or 3 days.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. Alberta is being hit with a more active tornado season than usual. Environment Canada says we usually see 15 in a whole year. So far this spring, it says we're already up to 12. 2 touched down last night, about 4.5 hours northwest of Edmonton. Connor Hogg is here now with more. Connor, what are we hearing for people near Girouville and Falher?
Jeff, people say there was little to no warning before they saw the spiral in the sky. Environment Canada says an alert wasn't issued because it developed quickly and the storm didn't show the typical tornado-producing features. A local fire chief says no one was seriously hurt, but property was damaged.
We did see a fairly strong cell that moved through from around the 7 o'clock hours, kind of when things started to get going, and then rolling through right through about 10 o'clock at night.
The farm that took a lot of damage is destroyed some machine sheds, definitely some grain bin storage areas as well. And in town, there's a few houses that lost roofs. Nothing came off the foundation, which we're thankful for.
This small garage ended up upside down and thrown against a camper. The storm also knocked out power to all of Girouville. Today, crews were out cleaning up and repairing damage. Smoky River's fire chief says neighbors have been helping each other out.
It's a humbling experience to see that many people come out and assist their neighbors and friends and family. Doesn't matter who you are, who you are not, or who you know and who you don't know. The community come together and did an excellent job providing for each other.
The Northern Tornadoes Project says that twister near Girouville was one of 2 tornadoes last night. The other touched down a little further north near Nampa. Environment Canada is reminding you to go inside during severe storms. If a tornado warning is issued for your area, head to the basement or more central room in your home. Jeff?
All right, Connor, thank you. Connor Hogg live for us tonight. We'll bring Josh in a little early this evening. Josh, new warnings, lots of exciting weather outside.
Yeah, well, I mean, earlier this afternoon, we may have had 2 more tornadoes to add to the tally from southeastern Alberta. All those storms are now done, but just in the last 5 minutes, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. There's no real tornado threat here, but there is potentially some quarter-sized hail and some heavy downpours. This does not include the city of Edmonton, although it's going to get really stormy in the city as well. This is just north, and it actually looks like this storm cell it's weakened significantly now from the way it looked there about 15, 20 minutes ago. But this is going to slip past just southwest of Fort Saskatchewan and likely hit the Sherwood Park area. You can see you got a pretty good storm cell over the northeast corner of the city. And then we'll watch this thing here. That potentially is producing some really sizable hail. So we were keeping an eye on that one right there. You can see how we've lost a lot of the pink off of that, and it is tracking off to the southeast. You also have some really strong wind gusts out ahead of these storm cells. So not only if you're underneath one of the heaviest of these rain cores getting poured on and potentially getting some hail, you have wind gusts 60, 70 kilometers per hour in some spots. Right now you're seeing gusts over 50 south of the city, up around 50 just off to the northwest. Downtown, it's 21. And gusts to about 35 kilometers per hour. And we're just starting to see some raindrops on the lens of Skycam. So for the next hour or 2, it's going to get stormy in through the area. The worst of those storms may not hit your backyard, but they will be in the Edmonton area up until about 8 o'clock tonight. 9 p.m., you still have a chance of some scattered showers. Could be some steadier rain overnight. We'll drop to about 11 degrees tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, same old story. Again, late in the day, chance of some showers and thunderstorms and a high of about 18 degrees.
Okay, thank you, Josh. An 11-year-old boy has died in a suspected drowning while on a school trip near Medicine Hat. Police, firefighters, and air ambulance were called to Echodale Park yesterday afternoon for a search and rescue mission. About an hour later, they found the boy at the bottom of the swimming lake. Medicine Hat Public School Division confirms the death, calling it a tremendous loss. It's offering support to people feeling the impact. Echodale Park remains closed until further notice. While police are investigating, they say they don't suspect foul play. Local massage therapist has been charged with sexual assault. Edmonton police are now looking for other potential victims. Last week, police charged 36-year-old Julio Uribe with sexual assault. Police say earlier this month, a woman reported being touched inappropriately without consent while she was getting a massage. EPS says it happened at Bamboo Wellness on the south side. Uribe has been released with conditions. He's not to go back to the business or contact the complainant. Investigators are asking anyone who experienced something similar to come forward. A historic building in the Quarters that was once the centerpiece of a proposed arts hub could soon be demolished. The city-owned Koermann building is up for sale. As Jeremy Thompson reports, the neighborhood has found another path to support the arts.
It's one of those old buildings downtown you might not even notice. Built in 1912 by a German immigrant, it was home to a Ukrainian bookstore, notable enough to inspire this replica at Fort Edmonton Park. About a decade ago, there was a plan to transform it.
There's a 15-story tower above the podium, and that's going to contain 64 live-work units.
The Koermann Block facade was going to be integrated into an arts hub that would help transform the Quarters neighborhood, but the vision never became a reality.
Over time, there was about $8.3 million committed by the city. Provincial government never did come through with a commitment of funds, and that's where it stalled out.
The project's name is still painted on one side of the building, along with an ad for cigarettes. The building is historic, but not protected. The city has put the property up for sale, and council is setting aside $600,000 to tear it down due to critical structural failures, among other issues.
If somebody could take it, disassemble part of it, and then integrate that into a new build, that'd be great for the neighborhood.
Arts Habitat's current executive director says the arts community has moved past the vision for the Tower Hub.
Over the years, we've still been able to kind of have that same vision, but just more spread out.
Al Chapman is excited about this space, also in the Quarters, where artists of all types come to create and collab. His group is now focused on promoting its new cultural infrastructure plan to bring art spaces to more parts of the city.
A healthy arts community, it leads to a healthy community, period.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A city official says he'll work to escalate complaints from people living in Collingwood about the neighborhood dog park. People who use the park regularly say they feel it's been neglected by the city. Evan Kenny has more on the changes they want.
People bring their dogs to the off-leash park in Collingwood every day. They love this park, but they say the park isn't feeling the love from the city.
It seems like we're second class to the other off-leash areas.
Dead trees, path maintenance, and long grass are just three of the complaints brought forward to city officials during a walking tour today.
The safety of patrons coming here, but that could be everything from the fallen trees to making sure the surfaces are walkable, nothing's in the way.
They say they've voiced these concerns for years without anything changing.
Just a little bit of maintenance and a little bit of changes can really help the community and help the people here feel a lot better about the park itself.
The city currently budgets $77 million each year to maintain parks around Edmonton. That includes mowing the grass every 10 to 18 days and cleaning sites.
I don't think the city is actually faltering in doing anything here. They're doing it according to plan, but maybe the plan's not good enough.
Graham Leggett works in the area councillor's office. He says he will organize meetings with the city's administration, parks and forestry departments to see what can be done.
They're not going to come in here with diggers this summer, I can tell you that much. Can we get things improved, like maybe grass cutting, garbage is emptied a bit more frequently? That's something maybe we can look at. But as far as major overhaul to this park, that would be something that would have to be considered in a future budget.
Some people are excited to hear about the possibility of change. Others...
How are you feeling after doing this walking tour here?
Lovely.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
Not feeling optimistic?
No.
The city says anyone with further concerns should call 311. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
The city is making it easier for people to play sports through a project that's new in Alberta. Gear lockers are now available at several local parks. They can all be accessed for free through an app. Koermann has more.
A quick game of pickup basketball for these junior high students. The ball belongs to the school, but what happens if you want to play a game after class? These high school teens are using the new sports lockers stationed at Confederation Park in South Edmonton. Here they can access soccer balls, footballs, and basketballs.
Me and my friends come here and play basketball almost every weekend, so to see like a good ball that's like high quality, to just be available for usage, no money, no nothing, and the lockers work great. It's pretty cool.
Edmonton is the first city in the province to launch this free program.
We hear that over and over again, that the cost of getting into sport can be a barrier, especially at a time where affordability is a challenge for so many people. And so to be able to just provide people a free way to get connected and get active, that's what we want to see more of.
The lockers are accessible by signing up through a mobile app. Once you log on, you can unlock one of the lockers and borrow a ball.
We're going to monitor usage, the data that comes back from them to figure out, if they're the right locations. And the easy thing about them, as you can see, is you can just simply pick them up and move them to another location if it's not meeting the needs of that community.
There are 30 kiosks at 20 different city parks. Future locations could be added.
Play doesn't have to be structured all the time, and so this is what it's about, is making sure that play can just be something people pick up and do, low barrier to access, and start having some fun.
The sports equipment is available from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. throughout the summer months. This is a 5-year pilot project. Koermann, CTV News, Edmonton.
A new piece of medical equipment is expected to help doctors diagnose diseases and conditions quicker. The University of Alberta Hospital is now home to Alberta's first photon-counting CT scanner. The new technology provides more detailed images of a patient's body while using less radiation than regular CT scanners. The hospital says the scanner will help doctors detect medical issues faster and more accurately.
It provides up to 5 times clearer imaging and 60% lower radiation, especially important for children and patients who require repeated scans. That means better information for healthcare teams and a stronger experience for patients, because behind every scan is a person waiting for answers.
The University Hospital Foundation says the new scanner is one of the most significant advances in CT imaging in more than 30 years. MacEwan grads are taking over the Windspear this week as thousands of students receive their degrees and diplomas. More than 2,000 Bachelor of Arts and Science graduates walked across the stage today. The school says convocation is a chance for students to celebrate years of hard work with friends and family. One graduate is being recognized for her academic success and leadership as this year's President's Medal recipient.
Oh, it feels very rewarding. It feels that all of the things I've been able to accomplish, all of the struggles, the late nights, the sleepless nights, early mornings, it's all worth it.
Ceremonies run until the end of the week. Koermann Park will soon hold its first summer festivals in 3 years. The park reopened last month after a years-long facelift. As CTV's Curtis Goodrum reports, the Free Will Shakespeare Festival will be the first.
Rows of updated seats in the newly renovated Koermann Park. A revamped theatre preparing for 25 days of Shakespeare performances after a 3-year break.
It is very exciting to have this show be the first one here, and I think for this cast to be part of the first company back in the amphitheatre.
Much ado about nothing. Director Ian Long says the amphitheatre has seen big improvements.
We're kind of testing it along with the city as well.
David Horak is the artistic director for the Free Will Shakespeare Festival. He says losing its home hurt the festival's ability to bring in audiences.
Or if it looks a little dicey weather-wise, we can go and perform. And in the other locations for the past 3 years, we were really weather dependent.
They're not the only ones who depend on the weather. The Silver Skate Festival will return in February.
Horlac's our home, and we are so excited to come back.
The city's longest-running winter festival says there's already more international interest than in the past several years.
I think that a lot of people will be really excited to come back and experience in winter. It'll be really nice to be skating on this pond again.
We couldn't be happier and more excited to have our festivals return to their home. Some of these festivals have been here for longer than 20, 30 years.
The City of Edmonton says the newly renovated park will draw more visitors to events through the summer.
We definitely recommend everyone gives themselves lots of time to travel here.
Free Will Shakespeare Festival starts Wednesday. Later this summer, Edmontonians can enjoy Heritage Festival, Symphony Under the Sky, and more at the park. Curtis Goodrum, CTV News, Edmonton.
A new adaptive boat launch at Rundle Park is making kayaking and paddleboarding easier for people in wheelchairs to access.
I love being on the water when it's nice outside.
A little rain last night didn't stop the launch's grand opening. The Edmonton Whitewater Paddlers and the Paralympic Sport Association partnered on the project. They say kayakers and paddleboarders in wheelchairs face difficulties getting to the water. The boats also had to be dragged up the hill by up to 4 people, so a new system was built.
This is so cool.
You can roll up, get right beside the boat on the rollers, we load them in, we roll them down into the water, we turn them around, we can winch them back up with a winch, up the rollers, so it takes all that back-breaking work out of it.
I just love the feeling of being on the water, and it gives me a sense of freedom.
The province's community enhancement grant paid for materials, and the city built a concrete pad to provide the dock's foundation. Still ahead, parade problems.
Everybody that was riding it was specifically told, don't have independent Alberta, separatist Alberta, anything derogatory.
A Central Alberta rodeo parade canceled after a dispute over a float featuring Alberta flags. Also next. The end of an era, Hockey Night in Canada will no longer air on Canada's public broadcaster. Details next.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The next NHL season will be the first in 75 years to not have a single game shown on Canada's public broadcaster. An agreement between Rogers and CBC that allowed Hockey Night to air on the public broadcaster expired at the end of the playoffs. CBC first aired Hockey Night in Canada in 1952 and will retain the Hockey Night brand. Sportsnet, which is owned by Rogers, says it will keep airing NHL games on Saturdays, calling it a time-honored tradition for Canadians. You'll need a paid subscription or cable package to watch. The Central Alberta Rodeo has canceled its annual parade after public backlash related to a float featuring Alberta flags. The Sundre Pro Rodeo and Race Association banned the float before reversing the decision, which organizers say led to hostility towards volunteers. CTV's Tyson Fedor has more.
The town of Sundre is known for its western roots and flags of both Canada and Alberta waving in the wind across the community. But an annual tradition that was set for Saturday is being canceled because of the Alberta flag.
We own up to it and we apologize and should have taken a better look or asked for clarification when it came to their application.
The parade's theme was celebrating our Sundre pioneers, but a float application was denied because it generated significant public discussion and strong opinions.
It was just a simple float with 10 Alberta flags, no banners, no political statements, no leaflets, no handouts, nothing like that.
Zane Novak helped create the float. He said the parade committee denied it. The rodeo says it changed gears and welcomed the float back, something Novak denies. But amid the flip-flop, staff and volunteers received significant backlash, including threats.
Or emails sent to our general inbox or our media inbox of, we're going to hunt you down, publicly humiliate you, like just things of threatening nature. And then we had seen some death threats as well.
I do not want anybody making threats That's totally inappropriate.
It comes as Alberta separation talks have ramped up with a provincial referendum this fall. The rodeo says staff may have been overly cautious with their screening process, thinking it was a pro-Alberta independent stance.
That shouldn't stop the parade from happening, no matter what people's opinions are. I feel
they fly all kinds of flags, whatever it says on the side of the float, I guess, depends. Remember, we had a manure spreader a few years ago, and there was an uproar about that.
That manure spreader was entered as a float in 2022, depicting former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and then NDP leader Jagmeet Singh.
You know, if they just have the flags on the float and going down, fine, but if they're saying things that shouldn't be said, well, no.
As for the float organizers, they say the Alberta flag has become weaponized.
How has it that we have come to the point where we cannot fly an Alberta flag?
The rodeo will still take place this weekend. Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Sundre.
The deadline has passed for a controversial billboard in Taber to be removed. Now the man behind it says 2 more electronic displays are going up.
It was just simply a way to show we're not going to be pushed around. This is valid, legitimate advertising in anticipation of a referenda.
The billboard is privately owned and operated on town land. Corey Morgan was given until June 13th to remove it. In a letter to the billboard owner, the town said it heard from people who felt it was a nuisance. Still ahead, making it to the summit solo.
And there's this little thing telling you in your head, like, why are you here? You should go back. Why are you doing this?
An Alberta man's harrowing journey to the highest point in Canada, all alone, and later.
So instead of using machinery, now I'm working with a pair of scissors, a utility knife, and glue.
An Edmonton retiree finds a creative way to reduce waste and increase whimsy by building a miniature town.
Showers and thunderstorms racing through the Edmonton area, although the severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect just north of Edmonton has now been canceled. I'll show you the latest right after the break.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basementy. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
An Alberta man who's been mountaineering for 20 years recently reached Canada's highest peak. While he set out with a partner to climb Mount Logan in Yukon, he ended up reaching the summit solo. CTV's Kevin Fleming has the details.
It takes months to prepare for an ascent of Mount Logan, and all that planning is rewarded with a flight into base camp with all the supplies needed for the climb. Tom Kidda and his climbing partner from the U.S. say the weather started out fine. The two spent days hauling their supplies and gear up the mountain in the territory's southwest corner, and at times experienced whiteout conditions.
It's really difficult to walk straight for a couple hundred meters. So what was happening was zigzagging around this glacier, and my partner was a little bit getting freaked out. We're going to zigzag into a crevasse.
June 2nd, the partner became ill, and at 6 p.m. the weather cleared enough for Kidda to make the move to summit Logan solo. But on the 6-hour climb, yet again the weather turned for the worse, forcing Kidda to put on more clothing with bare hands.
With 30 seconds, so it probably took like 45 minutes to, change my clothing, add extra layer. And this was the most clothing I wore in my whole entire life.
But at midnight, he made it to Canada's highest peak at 5,959 meters.
It took me about 6 hours, so Camp 4, to reach this summit. The knife edge approach is kind of scary, but I'm hoping I can get out of here alive.
Felix Jordan flies climbers into base camp from April 1st to the middle of July and says the scenery is stunning.
It's so massive out there that there's so much to explore. There's so many areas that I haven't even touched yet. And they're not even far away, but all of a sudden you notice like you're flying just like one click over somewhere and it's a whole different area. And it's just, the vastness of it is crazy.
Kidda now has one more peak added to the list of mountains he's climbed, and he's already thinking of which peak he'll summit next. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
It's not too often we can hear the rain hitting the roof of the studio building.
It is pouring right now here in the West End and across other parts of the city. We'll show you that on the radar map in a second. That's what it looks like. The River Valley Skycam, 19 degrees right now. We actually snuck up to 22 for a daytime high today. Before the rain had rolled in. 13, your morning low. As we mentioned, severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect just north of the city, now no longer in effect. You can see this storm has weakened significantly as it passed northeast of Edmonton. Looked like it was probably dropping some decent hail on Sherwood Park, but I think we've lost the hail cores off of these two. That one northwest of the city, still producing a fair amount of lightning. That's the one that's going to go through here in the next little bit. But behind this, there really isn't all that much. So this is about 80 kilometers from downtown Edmonton. It's moving about 40, 45 kilometers per hour off to the southeast. So you do the rough timing on that. And I think anywhere between 8 and 9 p.m., depending on where you are in the city, it should clear out. And in behind that, we'll see some breaks. And then some rain will return later on tonight. You've also got showers and earlier in the day, some thunderstorms in east central and northeastern Alberta. Some thunderstorms again in that area where you had 2 now confirmed tornadoes, Girouville and Nampa. Yesterday about 8 p.m. And then these are unconfirmed, but it does look like we potentially had 2 tornadoes just southwest and northwest of Medicine Hat earlier in the day. All those storms now off into Saskatchewan. No real threat of severe weather, but you are going to see some heavy downpours, some frequent lightning, and potentially some small pockets of maybe pea-sized hail in parts of the Edmonton region here for the next hour or two. And then overnight tonight, you can see from Edmonton off to the west, northwest, chances of more showers or maybe even some steadier rain there for a little while. It's always a little tricky with this sort of setup to try and pin down the timing of this precipitation. As we said yesterday, it's not going to rain all day. It'll be sort of off and on showers. And that'll be the case again tomorrow. I do think in the morning hours, though, by 7, 8 a.m., most, if not all, of this rain is off to the south and west of the city. So we may actually have a nice stretch there through the mid to late morning hours where it's dry, and then this is going to be pretty scattered in the afternoon and early evening hours. Some hit and miss showers and potentially thunderstorms. Thursday, again, it's probably drier in the morning than it is in the afternoon. Again, it's going to be pretty hit and miss showers and thunderstorms late in the day Thursday as well. 22 in Fort McMurray right now. It's 16s in Grand Prairie and Jasper. 19 in Edmonton, windy, and 12 in Red Deer. We'll see some gusty conditions for the next couple of hours. Around midnight or into the early morning hours, a chance of some more rain, then a bit of a break. We'll get to about 18 or 19 for a high tomorrow, and that risk of showers and thunderstorms again late in the day. Same goes for Thursday. Friday looks nice, 21, and some sunshine, and then rain in the forecast for both Saturday and Sunday, especially Saturday. That could be heavy, steady rain on Saturday. First week of summer does look drier and warmer, back into the mid-20s.
Looks good. Thank you, Josh. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, a busy day for Canada at the G7 summit in France.
We talked about a number of other issues that the United States raises with us, but we also talked about issues that are important to Canadian workers and the Canadian economy.
Trade talk and new sanctions on Russia also.
The wrong person without the experience flying in these situations, a lot can go wrong, obviously.
From safety concern to potential spying, police on both sides of the border take action against amateur drones during the World Cup.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Nearly 800 people are under an evacuation order in West Kelowna due to a wildfire burning at a regional park. Hundreds of firefighters responded after the fire at Callamore Park broke out, prompting tactical evacuations. The BC Wildfire Service believes the fire was human-caused. It broke out just minutes after provincial officials began a news conference on the upcoming wildfire season. They're warning persistent drought conditions could mean another severe fire season there. A hot mic moment at the G7 captured a casual exchange between the U.S. President and Canada's Prime Minister. The two were joking, engaging in small talk, while also getting down to business. CTV's Mike Lecouture has the impromptu lunch chatter and what else happened at the summit's busy first day in France.
As G7 leaders prepared for their working lunch, Prime Minister Mark Carney took advantage of the moment to talk trade with U.S. President Donald Trump. In an apparent reference to the amount of Chinese electric vehicles Canada agreed to let into the country in January, Carney conveyed to Trump how little he believes it would affect the North American market. The agreement with China would allow for the annual import of 49,000 Chinese-manufactured EVs into Canada. In exchange, China lowered tariffs on a number of Canadian products, including canola. Also in Evian, Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and lead trade negotiator Janice Charette met with their American counterparts.
We talked about a number of other issues that the United States raises with us, but we also talked about issues that are important to Canadian workers and the Canadian economy.
Now, after securing the deal with Iran, Trump's focus shifted to Ukraine. Following a meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky on the margins of the G7 summit, Trump had this message for Vladimir Putin.
Russia should make a deal. Russia's lost tremendous amounts of people, and so has Ukraine.
Ukraine will win. It's just a question of time.
To help make that happen, Canada announced additional sanctions against 162 Russian individuals and entities targeting the Russian war machine. And President Zelensky feels a new sense of momentum towards a resolution.
It's great that everybody's understanding.
Yeah.
And it's great that Russia is not winning, and we have to push Putin to end this war.
G7 leaders will continue their meetings on Wednesday, but there are no plans for Trump and Carney to sit down together. But as we saw today, that doesn't mean they won't have important discussions, even if they're brief. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, near Evian, France.
The FBI says it foiled an alleged terror plot targeting President Trump's Ultimate Fighting Championship event last Sunday at the White House. The president says he wasn't briefed on it.
I haven't heard about it, but I watched. The attack that I watched were the fighters.
Federal agents say 5 people have been detained and that investigators uncovered the threat days before thousands gathered for the event. Part of the plan included striking nearby buildings with explosive drones and then using snipers to target senior government officials. It's unclear how far along the alleged plot progressed. As the World Cup shifts into high gear, federal regulators are banning unauthorized drones flying over both FIFA venues and training sites. CTV's Heather Wright has more on what prompted that decision.
Drones lit up the night sky over Seattle on Monday, forming a scoreboard with the 1-1 draw between Belgium and Egypt. While this was a sanctioned spectacle, authorities in both the United States and Canada are cracking down on unauthorized drone use near FIFA sites. Toronto police say they have seized 6 drones since last Wednesday and are reminding the public about no-fly zones in place around World Cup-related events. In the United States, the FBI says they seized drones near SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles on Friday.
If there's an event nearby with like FIFA in town, that changes things. It's like it ups the stakes a lot.
Henry Shepard is an advanced drone pilot and owner of Films First. He says it's not surprising authorities are cracking down on drone use near a big event like the World Cup.
Let's say if it's windy, for example, and you've got a smaller drone and you're downtown. You may lose control of that easily enough, or you may fly behind a building and lose the signal for a second. So the wrong person without the experience flying it in these situations, a lot can go wrong, obviously.
While safety is one consideration, security is another, especially in the unlikely event of terrorism.
This isn't something that, has a very high probability of taking place, but that's the worst case scenario that the authorities are probably using as their baseline when it comes to security measures for drones.
Federal restrictions are also in place prohibiting any drones near training sites in addition to stadiums. Federal regulators say this is to manage crowded airspace and protect event security, but could also be a way to prevent spying. Teams have used drones to spy on their opponents in the past, including Canada's women's soccer team, which flew drones over to New Zealand practices ahead of their opening match at the 2024 Olympics in Paris.
Drone restrictions are in place even on days when matches are not being played, with Toronto police saying they have detection technology in place to track down any unauthorized drones. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
The British military is investigating after a Russian warship fired warning shots toward a UK-registered yacht in the English Channel. The two vessels apparently came into close contact this morning south of the Isle of Wight. The Russian Defense Ministry says its frigate tried to contact the yacht. It decided to fire warning shots with small arms after the distance between the vessels closed to 150 meters. Still ahead, single Canadians spending more.
You're often living in a smaller space. You might have a smaller fridge.
Why people who live alone are paying more on average for groceries.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
On Wednesday, what will change for students at school in the fall if Ottawa moves forward with a social media ban for kids under 16? And we asked the mayor about the likelihood of Edmonton leaving Alberta if Alberta leaves Canada.
Looking at the markets, the Canadian dollar closed near 71 cents US. Oil down around $4, closing the day near $75 a barrel. Gold gained just under $3. On the stock market, the TSX is up 113 points. The Dow Jones up 328 on the day. The rising cost of groceries has been impacting Canadians' budgets for years. But turns out people who live alone are paying the highest price. CTV's John Venevali-Rao has more.
Rice. We bought rice because it's on sale.
When it comes to affording food items, in particular for those living on their own, it can be summed up this way.
It's tough.
While everyone is feeling the pinch in the grocery aisles, the new survey from Interac found 6 in 10 solo households felt they face disproportionately higher per person costs compared to Canadians who split expenses.
As a single person living on my own, I definitely noticed.
The survey found the average single-person household spends about $102 a week on groceries, compared to $80 per person in a shared household. Many of those living alone say it is harder to find ingredients portioned for one, and many say they miss out on the savings that come from buying in bulk, in part worried about food going bad before they can use it all.
If you're a single person, you have to worry about space. You're often living in a smaller space. You might have a smaller fridge, no access to a significant freezer.
Single-person households now make up about 3 in 10 homes. Greg Johnson lives alone and says for $100, he used to be able to fill a grocery cart.
$100 don't give you this. This is the $100 in here. You try to buy some yogurt, some let's see, the no-name products. You try to save up on that. Even the laundry detergent, you're trying to save on that. And nowadays, I see people making their own laundry detergent, trying to save some money.
The survey found overall, Canadians are changing buying habits because of rising prices. Nearly half say they've reduced or stopped buying premium meat cuts, and nearly 4 in 10 said they've switched to store or no-name brands in the last 6 months. Meanwhile, some note solo shoppers do have one genuine advantage. They can more easily pivot to buying what's on sale with only one person in the household making the decision. John Venevali-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
The province is testing out new programs that could mean fewer trips to the pharmacy for some Albertans. Beginning in the fall, pharmacies in rural and remote communities will be able to expand their services. They'll be able to offer health screenings, point-of-care testing, and acute condition assessments. Albertans with stable chronic conditions will be able to receive a supply of up to 100 days of medication.
For rural Albertans, this can mean getting help sooner, avoiding unnecessary trips, and receiving the care from trusted professionals in their own community.
The province is also increasing dispensing fees. They'll go up by 20 cents for prescriptions under 84 days and $1.35 on prescriptions of 84 days or more. The federal government is moving forward with the bill it says will address long-term drinking advisories plaguing First Nations across the country.
This important legislation recognizes First Nations as stewards of water, establishes clear standards, and reflects the realities of their communities. The proposed First Nations Clean Water Act is backed with the single largest funding commitment ever made for First Nations, $4.6 billion over 5 years.
The federal Indigenous Services Minister says she wrote the bill to stand the test of time. She says it is a human right for people on First Nations lands to have safe drinking water. A previous bill to address the issue was introduced in 2023. Parliament was prorogued before it had the chance to pass. A mysterious underground structure has been discovered at Lake Minnewanka in Banff National Park. Parks Canada says a portion of the beach collapsed in May. When officials took a closer look at the hole, they realized it was caused by the caving in of a previously unknown underground structure. In 1944, there was a campground in the area, and Parks Canada suspects the structure is related to that. Heritage specialists are assessing the site to learn more. The area remains fenced off for safety. Still ahead, one man's trash is another man's town.
I started with a cardboard box because I could see something in it.
Now he's encouraging others to recycle while constructing a miniature town.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV. Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality.
An 83-year-old man from Edmonton is aiming to reduce waste at his retirement home by building a mini town. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more on its construction from recycled material.
This is the town of Recycle. Like many towns in Alberta, it has a school, a church, and a farm with animals.
I started with a cardboard box because I could see something in it.
That vision turned into this, a town made of 90% recycled materials. 83-year-old Russ Drury used popsicle sticks, a can from the cafeteria, cardboard, and a Kleenex box.
So I built the outhouse and I wallpapered the inside.
After a lesson on recycling from St. Andrew Centre, Drury took it to the next level with his creation.
Because there was so much waste, you know. We want it more and more to be recycled, which we are doing now.
I thought, thank goodness, because I always found a purpose for everything. I never threw it out.
Drury is no stranger to building. He used to have a workshop, but stopped due to medical issues. Creating the town of Recycle helped reignite his creativity.
So instead of using machinery, now I'm working with a pair of scissors, a utility knife, and glue.
Drury added some personal touches to the town, like the general store.
My wife's name and mine, our initials, and the year we were married.
Its small streets and warm details have inspired the residents in more ways than one.
Now that he's doing it, I think people are recycling a lot more, which is good.
I think a lot of people could pick up on the project and have ideas of their own too. Just because you're old doesn't mean that you can't do anything, for one thing.
The town of Recycle has a population of 0 right now, but that could change.
Everybody thinks that I should build a hotel to go with this town. So I guess that's another project to get going.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Well, I don't hear the rain on the roof anymore, or the thunder.
Although it's still coming down in parts of the city, especially just off to the southeast, and you are seeing some heavier rain from Sherwood Park back off to the northwest as well. If we zoom out, you can see once you get past sort of just north of Morinville, it does dry up. So, again, as we said earlier, depending on where you are in the city, between 8 and 9 p.m., I think most areas should be done with that. There is more on the way for tomorrow, though. Overnight tonight, after midnight, you get some rain. Mostly cloudy for the first half of the day, and then in the afternoon, some off and on showers and potentially thunderstorms. And about 18 for daytime highs tomorrow and Thursday.
All right. Thanks, Josh. And thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, check out our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Thanks for watching.